Hello everybody, my name is Elizabeth Herrera and today's presentation and lesson plan is on soft skills, and these are the most desirable traits that an employer wants. And since this is the pharmacy setting, the pharmacy technician program, we're getting you guys ready to go into the world and get your job as a pharmacy technician. So I want to go over the objectives. The main objective is to describe some of the characteristics that good employees should have. The first three characteristics are displaying flexibility, honesty, and responsibility. In the pharmacy setting and in any work environment, you have to be able to adapt to your environment because the society is changing, technology is changing, the procedures change at the workplace. So we have to be able to work with whatever comes our way. Also, you're going to be working with various different people, different pharmacies come in, and so we have to adapt and be flexible. Be honest. That's very important in the pharmacy because we're working with medications that are very expensive. Some are narcotics, so the pharmacist needs to make sure that they have your complete trust, because sometimes some people may want to take things that are not theirs. So if you walk in and they can trust you, that's probably one of the best traits you can have. Being responsible is very important, because the pharmacy needs to know that you're being relied on. Your employer does. So also to make sure that you complete your tasks fully and in an accurate manner. That's very important. And that you take responsibility for your actions, especially in the pharmacy because we're dealing with medications. So if anything, we need to make sure that we make a correction if we made an error and take responsibility for it, and of course not make the same mistake again. To show commitment to your employer in the pharmacy is to show that you're dedicated to the job and that you perform the job to the best of your ability. The pharmacy and the employer will be able to tell when students and interns are not all there, that they're just there to complete hours, but they're really not there to learn. So they need to see genuine commitment on your part. You need to show enthusiasm in the pharmacy. If you display enthusiasm, the pharmacy manager will be more willing to teach you and to show you information. And if you are not enthusiastic, usually the pharmacy managers, will probably display that on your evaluation when they give you the evaluation when you exit. Also, if you're an enthusiastic person, high spirits all the time, positive attitude, that's the energy you bring to the pharmacy setting, and that's always a good trait to have. It's important to follow the rules. All these are part of soft skills. It's important to follow the rules in the pharmacy setting or with any employer you have. The rules consist of following attendance policies, arriving on time, adhering to authority, obeying the rules, and appropriate dress. In the pharmacy setting, all of those traits are important because it's all about regulation. It's a field that's highly regulated, and we need to make sure that we comply with all the requirements to make sure that you hopefully get a job offer when you finish this program. Communication also is very important because every single day in the pharmacy setting, you will be communicating with patients, with your pharmacist, with phone calls that come in, and you're with your coworkers. So it's highly important that you know how to share information, that you receive feedback, and that you know when to speak and when to listen. There's always a time when we have to listen to patients when they come to your window so that we know how to answer them and how to provide them the service. Also, a reminder is that communication is not just verbal communication and the words that you say. It's also our body language, because our body language says a lot of things. It tells somebody whether you're impatient or whether you're willing to cooperate, whether you have positive energy. And the patients can read that, the pharmacist can read that as well, everybody around us can read that. So body language is very important when you're communicating. being in communication, and when you interact with your coworkers and with patients, it's very, very important that we are respectful of everybody. We need to be respectful regarding some people's ethnicity, their culture, their age, their gender, religion, their lifestyle, and economic status. In the pharmacy locations for your employer, you're going to work with sometimes patients that look a little bit different, dress a little bit different, come from many, many different nationalities all throughout the world. And sometimes they have accents that may be a little bit difficult for us to distinguish. But if we show patience and respect for all of their differences, those are the traits that an employer is seeking. That's communication, whether you're on one-on-one, speaking, for example, you and your pharmacist, or if you're in a group setting as well. Another trait that employers seek is to make sure that employees are able to grow personally and professionally. And what that entails is the ability to set goals and to monitor their progress. So I have a little worksheet here that you're going to be able to work on your own, and then we can discuss it as a group. So what is a goal? A goal is a desired result or purpose. A long-term goal may take a few years or even a lifetime to accomplish. A short-term goal they are smaller steps taken to help each reach the long-term goal, may take a few days, weeks, or months to accomplish. So for example, a short-term goal that in this class you have is to become a pharmacy technician. You started in August. We're in October. We're getting ready to send you to the pharmacy in 2 weeks, and by January you'll be complete with your program. So you're almost halfway through your short-term goal. But on this worksheet here, we're going to set goals, and you're going to write down some of your goals using the SMART formula. So your goals have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and we have to have a timeline. You have to have a time based when you're going to want to complete the goal. For example, you can ask yourself, what would you be doing in 5 years, or 10 years, or 20 years from now? Where do you want to be? What type of training or education is needed in order to attain that goal? What personality traits or characteristics may be required? Everything's always a work in progress. We work, mature, and develop continuously. So we're trying to improve our skills in order to reach your goal. What problems could prevent me from achieving the goal? So you can think of maybe family circumstances, or how you can arrange it so that you can eventually attain the goal that you have set. And you have to set small steps that can take you to where you want to reach. So ask yourself, what little steps do I have to take? Don't think that you're going to get, for example, if you want to become a pharmacist, you're a pharmacy technician right now, and to become a pharmacist, it takes about 8 to 10 years. So you don't think about, okay, I want to become a pharmacist immediately. It's just little baby steps that you have to take. You can begin by completing this class. Then the next step would be to go to a community college, get your associate's degree. Usually it takes about 2 years. And then after that, you can transfer to university to complete your bachelor's, and then apply for the pharmacy program. And a pharmacy program is about 4 years. So it's a timeline, and you can't expect to be, go through from A to Z in 3 years for such a goal. What you do is you start to plan out what your expectation is, your goal. Maybe it's to become a nurse, maybe it's to become a physician's assistant, or to go into the business world and get your bachelor's or your master's in business administration. So what this is going to do is going to set something in writing so that you can begin to think about your goals, short-term goals, long-term goals. Because also sometimes when you go to pharmacy interviews, the pharmacist may ask you, where do you see yourself 3 years from now? or 5 years from now. So if we do a little bit of brainstorming now, you will be prepared to answer the question, and and also be prepared with your soft skills, so that the pharmacy managers basically select you over any other candidate in order to participate in their externship. All right, so everybody, we're gonna work on this, and we're gonna discuss it, and I'll walk around and review it with you if you want to go over any pointers or go over the SMART goals, the SMART steps. Thank you.